So we're going to start off with a little platform layout and navigation. Off the bat here, what you'll see, this is going to be our positions tab. You'll notice in the bottom left corner, right now we have the positions icon selected. So from the positions tab here, this is obviously where you can see any open positions you may have. You're able to filter those positions. And then right here at the top of the tab as well, you have your account header where you'll be able to see your account's net lick, your buying power that's available, how many trades you've done, how many day trades. That's all displayed for you at the top of the page here. Moving along next to that, we are going to have our trade tab. So this is where you'll probably be spending a lot of your time if you're placing option trades, stock trades, trading crypto as well. For example, you could trade all of those products that we offer from this trade tab here. So we will definitely be covering that a little bit more in depth later on here in the demo. Next to that, we are going to have our activity tab. From the activity tab here, this is where you can see any recent activity in the account in terms of trades. So you won't see like things like dividend payments or anything along those lines in this tab. I'll show you where to find those in just a couple moments here. But in the activity tab, this is where you can see filled orders, working orders, canceled orders, maybe orders that have expired. If they were listed as day orders, you get some more detail about the order. So you can see, for example, here, like what was submitted, what the limit price was you submitted at, what the ultimate fill was it a day order or GTC? And then you can also see the timestamp here as well, when that order was filled. Next to that, we are going to have our research tab. So this is where, with the research tab here, this is where you're going to be able to find any recent news articles that have come out about particular companies, their financials, ratios, forecast, and then just some more general information about the company. I know we're kind of breezing through this tab right now, but we will be showing those specific tabs of information that you can access from the research tab here a little bit later on when we get into placing stock trades. So don't worry, we will definitely be circling back to this. Next up, we are going to have our chart tab at the bottom of the platform here. Again, more on the chart tab a little bit later on, but just to cover some things off the bat here. This is at the top of the page here toward the upper right corner. This is where you'll be able to adjust time interval and aggregation for the chart that you're viewing. You'll also be able to adjust the chart type, eventually add some drawings as well. Again, we will be coming back to this and covering it a little bit more in depth later on in the demo. Next to that, now this is going to be the history tab. This is the one of the more important ones, I would say, especially when it comes to reconciling your overall profit and loss on maybe some previous trades, or as I mentioned before, when we were on that activity tab, from the history tab here, this is actually where you're going to be able to see any dividend payments that you've received. So again, with this history tab, to reconcile the profit and loss here on a trade, all you would have to do is tap on each of the line items listed here. So for example, you'll notice as I tap on these, they highlight in blue. This is the, here, actually, let's remove that. So right now what I have selected is the SPY vertical spread that I have on currently in the account. So now that we've selected both of these trades, this was the opening transaction. So we actually get an idea of what the credit was that we received when we opened this. That can be seen in the upper right corner here above the word amount. So you could see we opened this vertical spread, got 94 cents worth of credit. That's seen up here in the upper right corner of the screen, 94 cents in terms of options, obviously translating to $94. You could also see commissions and fees that you paid to open that trade as well. Moving along next to that history tab, this is going to be our follow page. So if any of you are fans of tastylive, we do have this follow page here where you're able to kind of follow along and see what the traders over on the tastylive side are trading. So at the bottom of the page here, this is where if you have any favorites, for example, you could go ahead and just select their name. So if we were to select Tom, you'll see now at the top of the page, we have all of just Tom's trades that are populating. And so you can kind of use this to follow along yourself if you would like. Again, this is not meant to be treated as trading advice, but as you're going through, if you do decide maybe you want to duplicate one of Tom's trades, if that's something you want to do, all you have to do is tap on the line itself. So we'll go with this meta trade here at the top where he bought a vertical. Tap on that. And then now you'll notice a message comes up asking if you would like to duplicate the trade. So if you want to set this up yourself, all you have to do is hit that duplicate the trade button, and then an order ticket will populate for the same exact trade that Tom had placed. And lastly here, we are going to have the tastylive tab. So this is actually going to give you a live feed of what's currently airing on tastylive. The really nice thing with this as well, that I like to point out on the iPad here, you get the picture-in-picture option here at the top. So if you tap on the screen, you'll notice that picture-in-picture option appear there at the top left corner. So if you clicked on that, you'll notice now you still get the live stream from tastylive, but at the same time, you're able to navigate to other trades here on the iPad platform. So you could keep that tastylive live stream going, the upper right corner of your screen, all while you're continuing to do your own trading here on the platform. So a pretty neat feature there with the picture-in-picture function. But we're going to go ahead and just close this out. There we go. And then one more here, I'm sorry, before we get into actually placing the trades. This is going to be the accounts button in the bottom right corner of your screen. So if you're somebody that has multiple accounts, this is where you'll be able to select the account that you're currently viewing. So for example, right now, I just have one account showing. Let me go ahead and change that for you all. Go into the account section here. We're going to add that second account. So what we did from the accounts button here at the bottom, we clicked on this gear icon at the top. This brought us to our settings page. And if you have multiple accounts, underneath the accounts tab on the left side, if you click on that, it'll take you to this page where in the middle, this box will show your all the accounts that you currently have under that profile that you're signed into. So right now, if you want all the accounts to show, just make sure you are toggling these make sure you toggle them on here over toward the right side of the page. This way now we close out of this and go back to the accounts button. This will bring up a page showing all the accounts that we currently have authorization to trade on. If you're looking to trade a specific account, you'll want to make sure that you're selecting this T shield here. So maybe if we wanted to place a trade in the 08 account, for example, we would have to tap on the T shield here. You'll notice now that would indicate that we're trading that 08 account. But for today's demo, we're actually going to just roll with the 01 account. So we'll go ahead and tap the T shield there. And then we're going to go ahead and close out of this and just go ahead and remove that 08 account from the platform just for the demo here. So we'll go ahead and close out of this now. And now you'll see in the bottom right corner, the only thing we have displaying now is that one account because we unchecked the 08 account. But all right, before I get into placing trades, let me stop and take a look here if there's any questions. I see your question here. Can you set up accounts from two different logins? You trade both your account and your wife's account. So actually, in that scenario, if anyone else has a similar scenario to this, where maybe they trade on somebody else's account, what you can do is submit something called a limited trading authorization form to us, and that will actually allow us, or it'll allow you to then trade the other person's account just by signing into your own. So for more information on that, feel free to send us an email to support@tastytrade.com. And then I'm sure one of the reps here will be able to get you set up with that limited trading authorization form. And perfect. Christian just threw it in the chat there for anybody who's interested as well. Perfect. But all right, everybody, let's go ahead and actually start placing some trades now. So I may go a little bit quick here over these next few minutes just because I want to show you all what it looks like to place an options trade on the platform that actually gets filled. We're going to have to do that on futures options since they're the only products that are trading right now. In respect to options, we have about 15 minutes to get that done. So I may place this initial trade a little bit quick. But don't worry, I just want to show you all what that looks like to fill it at least, and then we can slow things down and go back through step by step the actual process of placing that trade after we get this one filled here. But all right, let's start with that futures trade here. So how do we search for a symbol? Well, one way you could do that is by tapping on the symbol in the upper left corner of the screen here. You'll notice now that pops out a left side menu that allows us to search for a symbol. So, like I mentioned, this one's going to have to be a future. So we'll type in /ES. Then we'll go ahead and search for that. And you'll notice now the ES option table pulls up here on our platform. Again, we are in the trade tab for this. So that's going to be that second icon from the left there on the bottom of your screen. The trade tab, make sure you're in there if you're looking to place an options trade. So now that we've searched for ES, we've got the options chain pulled up here. On the left side, we will see the expirations for all the different options that we currently have available to trade. If you're someone who doesn't really base it off of the expiration date itself, but rather the days until expiration, you can actually see those displayed down the middle column here. So the DTEs are displayed down the middle. Off to the right side, we are going to show the IVX, and then in the parentheses there, that is going to indicate the expected move. So, for example, on the August 14th expiration here, it looks like the expected move is currently 51.87 points to the upside or downside here for ES. And then while we're on it, if you're following along here and you can't see all of the same expirations that I currently have shown, you want to make sure you're tapping on this filter icon at the top here. If you may have regular, which is only going to show the AM options for ES, or you may have non-regular currently selected, which is going to show the weeklies. But if you want everything to show, make sure you're choosing all. That is not just specific to the futures, that applies to equity and ETF options as well. So if you can't see all the expirations, take a look at that filter icon in the upper right corner. Make sure you have all selected. All right, but now that we've got the options chain pulled up here, let's say maybe we want to place some sort of vertical spread here on ES. Let's go about 45 days out. So we'll click on the September 27th expiration here. And once we click on that, you'll notice the options table appears. So from here, this is where we can actually QR order up. So just a couple things to point out here. The strikes will be displayed down the center of your screen, and the calls will be listed to the left side of the strikes, and the puts will be listed to the right side of the strikes. And you'll notice on each the left and the right side, there are two columns that you can't change, which are going to be the bid and the ask prices. So this is going to help when we're trying to decide whether or not we're looking to buy or sell an option. If you're looking to sell an option, make sure you're tapping on the bid price. If you're looking to buy an option, make sure you're tapping on the ask price. So in this case, with ES, maybe we want to put on a vertical put spread here. So what we can do, let's go ahead and sell the 54.30 strike. So we're going to tap on that bid price. So tap on the bid price there. That lines up in order to sell that option. That is denoted now by this red box that comes around that option, indicating that we're selling one. Then maybe we want to buy the 54.25. So we'll go ahead and click on the ask price. Now, with this, actually, let's, you know what? Let's widen this out here. Let's make it 10 points wide. So to adjust that, all you have to do is just, what I did there was just place my finger on that green box and then just drag up. Oops. There you go, drag up. And that would be a way that you can quickly adjust strikes. So you'll notice if you're someone who's similar with our, or if you're someone who's familiar with like our desktop platform or even our web-based platform, the process to actually submit orders from the trade screen here, it's all very similar. Really, the only main difference is that you're using your finger instead of the cursor on your screen. So that's a pretty neat feature across all of our platforms. When it comes to routing orders, process is going to be very similar. So it should be a pretty seamless transition. But now that we've got our order lined up here, we can confirm the order details here in the bottom left corner. So you'll see we've got an order lined up to sell one of the 54.30 puts and buy one of the 5420 puts here. We have our limit price box right here. And then underneath the limit price box, this is where we're going to have access to our price bar. So if you're ever having trouble getting an order filled, may potentially be due to wide spreads. So this price bar that we display under that limit price box is going to be your best friend. It'll give you an idea of what the market looks like. So if you're submitting an order at the mid price, but maybe the natural price is 40 cents higher, just because you're at the mid price doesn't mean you're going to get filled. So you may have to work a order closer to whatever that natural price is to potentially get filled on that order. So in this case, let's actually work something down closer to the natural here because I want to make sure we get filled. So we can see the natural is currently at $1 credit. Let's go ahead and try $1.50 here. So if you tap on the limit price box here, then that will bring up your keyboard here where you can manually enter your own price. So we're going to go ahead and backspace this, switch over, and we are going to go at $1.50 here. Hit return. Now we have our price set at $1.50. Order type is a net credit, which is correct. Right now, we just want this as a day order. So now once we're satisfied with everything we have set up, we'll go ahead and hit review and send. This will bring up our final confirmation page here, where we're able to review the type of trade we're submitting. So you could see here we're submitting for a net credit of $1.50. And then you also see the commissions and fees that you are charged on this review page as well. And then lastly, you get an estimated total buying power effect. So how is this going to reduce your buying power once this order is submitted? So you'll see this one here is going to reduce us by about $312.44. So we'll go ahead and send this off now. And you'll see there in the bottom left, sorry, it looks like there's just a slight delay with Zoom running on the iPad. But you'll see there in the bottom left corner, you get the fill messaging that comes through. And then now we can actually see the filled positions on the option chain itself. So those little gray squares will indicate that those that you currently have open positions on those specific strikes. So now that we filled this position, we should be able to see this under the positions tab. So if we go back to positions here, now you'll see there's our ESC4 position we just filled. So if we tap on this line, boom, there you go. Now you could see the vertical spread we just opened on the futures options. Next to that, you'll be able to see, we got a couple different columns displaying here. So you could see your P&L open, P&L day, the current bid, ask for the spread. Now, if your columns don't look the same as those, what you can do here is go to your settings tab. And from the settings, underneath accounts on the left side here. So sorry. So you'll want to tap on accounts. This is the page it'll take you to. And then from there, we're going to go to positions. So again, that was positions right here. Tap on that. That will bring you to a table where you can now adjust those columns that you have displayed. So you'll see P&L open, P&L day, net delta, quote bid, quote ask are all showing there. If you want to add something, for example, maybe we want to add the mark. So we'll go ahead and tap on blue plus here. That adds the mark here at the bottom of the page. Now these columns will display in the order in which you have them added to the list. So if you want to move mark up, so it's one of the first things you see, go ahead and just click and drag that up. So that's, you're going to have to tap and hold on this, these three horizontal bars here. And then as you move up and down, that would be the way to kind of reorder the list. So we'll close out of the position settings now. Now I do want to show you all how to actually go about closing this position while the futures market is still open. So to close this, what you can do from the positions tab here is you'll have to first tap on each of the legs that you're trying to close. So this is very important, especially if you're somebody who's trading spreads. You'll want to make sure it's very important that you're tapping on each of the legs that you're trying to close. So you'll notice as we tap on them, they each highlight in a faint blue there, indicating that they're currently selected. So if you're doing, like if we we had the spread open and we just only tapped on the 54.20, for example. Now we go to line up a closing order. That's only going to close the 54.20. That 54.30 is still open. So again, it's really, really important that you are making sure you're tapping on both of the legs to select them prior to actually lining up that closing order. So we'll go ahead and tap on the 54.30. You'll see they're both now highlighted. Once you have them both highlighted on the iPad here, the way to close the position is actually a little bit, it's pretty unique, I would say, in comparison to the rest of our platforms. What you have to do, it's called a long press. So now that we've got it highlighted, just put your finger down, press and hold just for a second in that highlighted area. Again, so just do a press and hold. And then you'll see this menu that comes up, allowing us to either close the position, close it a percent profit, roll it, or you get the ability to view the order chains for the position as well on here. We'll cover the order chains in just a second. I want to stick with the closing position here while we've got the market still open. So let's go ahead and tap on the close position button. This will now automatically line up a closing order for us. So if you're somebody who's trying to line up these closing orders on your own and you're having difficulty, maybe always mixing and matching legs, and you end up maybe just closing one leg and accidentally opening another. The fact that you can just line up a closing order right from the positions tab pretty much eliminates the hassle that could cause. So you don't have to worry about selecting the bid or the ask correctly in the trade tab here. Just go to the positions tab, do the long press, hit close position. It'll line up a closing position for you every time. So then we can confirm that here with our order details in the bottom left corner. You could see we're going to be selling to close and buying to close. Now, once we're satisfied with that, let's go ahead and submit our closing order price. So let's see here. Show the limit price. Well, the theoretical mid's at $2.85. Let's go ahead and actually bump this up a little bit, maybe to $3. And then we'll go ahead and hit review and send. Again, on this screen, you can see commissions and fees that you're going to be paying, and then ultimately how your buying power is going to be impacted. Once you're satisfied with everything, go ahead and hit send order. Notice there that order is off, working, and boom, filled. So we could see that fill notification come through in the bottom left corner. And now, while we're still on it, I didn't think we'd get through that fast, but we do still have about 3 minutes to spare. So what we can do here is actually, I can show you all how to open an outright futures contract as well, if that's something you're interested in. So we're going to switch things over a little bit here. We're not going to do the ES for this one. What we're going to do is we're going to do the MES. So tap in that upper left corner where the symbol is listed. This will allow us then to search for a symbol. MES, we'll go ahead and select it from the menu. This will now populate on our trade tab here. So yes, from the trade tab, what you'll mainly be seeing is all the options listed, but you can actually trade the outright from here as well. And it's pretty simple to do. You see these bid and ask prices at the top. Depending on what you're trying to do, if you're looking to go long, you could tap on the ask price. If you're looking to go short the outright, you tap on the bid price. So in this case, let's just look to buy one MES contract. We'll go ahead and tap on the ask. You'll notice now in the bottom left corner, this lines up in order for us to purchase an outright contract. So you can confirm that here again in the bottom left. Order to buy an MES future. Quantity is 1. And we have our limit price here. So just to make sure we get filled, let's actually go ahead and get in this with a market order. So we'll change the order type here from limit. Tap on that box there. And we're going to go with a market order. Now we'll go ahead and hit review and send. And we're going to go ahead and send that order off. Boom, just like that, working. And there's the filled notification that comes through. So we now own one outright contract of MES. Again, that can be seen under the positions tab. MES, tap on the line. There's your outright contract that you currently own. So it looks like we beat the buzzer on that one. We do have about 2 minutes to spare with the future session. So just like that, we were able to show you all what it looks like to get an options trade filled on futures, and the same method would apply for equities as well. It's not any different. All you would do is search for the equity, find the strike price, tap on the bid or the ask based on whether you're looking to buy or sell. And that's the process for submitting orders on equity options is the exact same. But all right, everybody, let me just take a moment here to see if we have any questions in here. And is there anything you all want me to go back and cover again? We're probably not going to have enough time to show another filled options trade, but at the very least, we could go over the process of submitting that trade. Let's see. Anybody have any questions or want me to review anything with that process? I see somebody asking about custom grouping here. Yeah, just to show you all what that looks like, what you can do here in the upper left corner of the screen from the positions tab here. So again, make sure you're in the positions tab. In the upper left corner, you have this little group by section. So right now we have order chains selected. Order chains, personally, it's my favorite to group by just because it makes it really easy for you to track your profit and loss on a position. If you're somebody who rolls a lot of options, this order grouping by order chains is going to help a ton. It eliminates the need for you to have to track that on your own on a spreadsheet. And I'll actually show you all what that order chains feature looks like in just a second after we get through this group by. But again, with the group by section here, right now I have mine set to order chains. Tap on that drop down. You could either group by none, by symbol, by sector, or you can also do a custom group here, which is what Christian was mentioning in the chat here. It looks like Ryan had asked a question. So there is a custom group option. Go ahead and tap on custom. Now, if you're ever looking to do a custom group on a position itself, we'll take SPY, for example. You'll see we have a put vertical spread queued up here, but maybe we wanted to group these individually for some reason. We wanted to group the 520 put by itself. You're going to tap on it to select it, and then again, do that long press. From here, you get this group option. So if you were to tap on that, this is going to give you the ability to just group what you have selected. So we'll go long put, and we'll hit group. And you'll notice now that is categorized under its own heading here, being long put, which we just named it. That would kind of be the process that you go through to actually custom group a position. If you're looking to ungroup something, you'll have to tap on it again, do the long press, and then go ahead and select this ungroup button. You'll notice now that will ungroup the position. So if you're somebody who's interested in that custom grouping feature, I'm sure Christian or David could go ahead and drop a link in the chat if they haven't already with more information on how to actually do that custom grouping on all of our platforms. But it's very important to note that if you have something custom grouped and then maybe you want to add it to another different custom group, you first have to ungroup it, and then that will free the option up to then be a part of another custom group. But all right, everybody, let's go ahead and actually get into placing some stop orders now. So you'll see here, we've got this SPY position, or the options on SPY here. So we offer stop orders on multiple things. So it will be multi-leg spreads on equities, ETF options. You're able to do stops on those. You're able to place stops on stock. And then lastly, you are able to place stops on outright futures. You're not able to do it for options on futures. CME doesn't allow stop orders on options on futures. So you unfortunately won't be able to do it there, but you can do it for outright futures. And again, for equity ETF options and then shares of stock. Those all you can place stop orders on. So how do we actually go about placing that stop order? Well, in this case with SPY here, what we'll have to do from the positions tab, again, tap both of the legs to select them. Once they're both selected, do that long press. And then from here, we can go ahead and actually just hit close position. This will bring us to a closing order ticket. So don't worry about clicking close position. It's not going to immediately close you out of that position. It first takes you to the order ticket. And then from here, this is where we would actually set up the stop order. So now under order type off to the right, you'll see we have net debit currently selected. What we'll have to do, tap on that drop down box. And then with the stop orders on spreads, we actually only allow stop limit orders. We don't offer stop market orders for spreads. So you'll get the option to choose a stop limit here. Go ahead and select that from the menu. Then once you've got the stop limit order selected, off to the left now, you'll notice we have two price boxes that appear. The one on the left, this is going to be your limit price at which you would like to close the order. So for example, here, this is a short spread. Maybe we'll set our limit price up at $1. And then in regard to our stop price, we'll go ahead and select that box now. See, it's highlighted there. Maybe with the stop price, we'll set that at 95 cents. So what this means for us now is if the price of the spread were to increase to 95, what's going to happen is the stop portion would be triggered. And then once that stop is triggered, it actually is going to route a limit order to close the position at $1 or better. It's going to route that to the market once that stop has been triggered. So once we've got that set, we'll go ahead and change the time in force here. From day, we have a couple different options. You have a good till cancel or good till date order. So for example, with the good till date, if we were to select the good till date, GTD, we're actually able to select a date that we want this order to work until. But in this case, we're actually just going to roll with a good till cancel on this one. So again, tap on that box, select GTC here. Now that we've got our GTC order set up, let's go ahead and hit review and send on this. And actually, you know what? Looking at the pricing here, looks like this stop would probably fill or have a good chance of filling right away. If assuming the market were to open up somewhere near where it closed at today, you'll see the natural close at 99 cents. So we're actually let's bump this stop price up a little bit. Let's put the stop price at $1.50. And then let's now edit the limit price here. Let's put the limit price at $1.55. So now that we've changed our prices, we'll go ahead and hit review and send. Takes us to the review screen. Again, one more time, total commissions and fees shown. This is a closing option trade. We don't charge a commission when closing option trades. There are some fees they come out to about 14 cents per contract, both opening and closing. So you'll see that with us closing 2 contracts here, 28 cents total. And then finally, we see the BP effect, and we're able to submit the order here. So we'll go ahead and hit send. You'll notice now we have that order working. Now to see that working order, you'll be able to see that in a couple different places. Obviously under the positions tab, if you're interested here, you'll want to make sure you have this working icon or the working filter at the top of the page selected. So if you're someone who has a bunch of working orders on right now, you can't see any of them from your positions tab, double check that you have your filters set correctly here at the top. Make sure you are including working. And you should see here we have that working order. Right now it's pending since the market's closed, but you'll see that's listed here. Another place we'll be able to see it would actually be under the activity tab. Boom, right here we have that pending order listed here as well. But all right, everybody, now that we've covered stop orders on spreads here, and just keep in mind with these trades that we're placing, the process is very similar for single leg options as well. Really, the only difference is from the positions tab, you wouldn't select both legs. You only have one leg to select in that case. But the process of hitting close position and then changing it to a stop order from the order ticket, the exact same. But now that we've got now that we've covered stop orders here, I do want to show you all before we get toward the end of this demo here, I do just want to show you all quickly how to place a stock trade and how you could actually potentially use the research tab to research the company prior to maybe purchasing some shares of stock, for example. So with that, let's go ahead and navigate back to our positions tab here. And then from I'm sorry, let's go ahead and actually go back to our trade tab. Sorry about that. Go back to the trade tab here. Tap in the upper left corner of the screen where the symbol is shown. That will pop out this left side menu here where we're now able to search for symbol here. Let's go ahead and do let's see, what do we want to do here? Maybe we'll do Walmart. So you could see here, type in the symbol for Walmart, WMT, comes up in the list here. Tap on it from the list. And then with Walmart now, or with purchasing shares of stock, it's going to be very, very similar to how we purchased the outright contract on the MES futures, right? So you'll see the options listed here as well, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can only trade options from this page. You can actually also trade shares of stock from this page. You'll notice the bid and the ask price here at the top. So if you're looking to buy shares, again, you have to click on the ask price here at the top. We'll go ahead and do so. You'll notice now this queues up an order to purchase Walmart stock, be buying. Right now we have the quantity set to 1. And then in here, we can adjust our limit price. So we're going to use the price bar here at the bottom to kind of help us determine something that we could possibly get filled right now. So we see the naturals at 68.07. The mid's going to be at 68.03. So why don't we go kind of roughly in the middle? Maybe we'll go a cent lower than 68.07. We'll go to 68.06. We just tap that plus button there to increase it by a couple pennies at a time, minus to decrease it. So we'll go to 68.06. We have a limit order selected. And then now, since we are in the after hour session, if you're somebody that's going to be trading stock in the after hour session or in the pre-market session, this is going to be very, very important for you. Under the time and force off to the right side of the page here, we have day currently selected. If you're looking to place an extended hours trade, you have to make sure that you're choosing EXT. If you're routing these orders as day orders in the extended hour session, they're never going to fill because it's a day order. You have to have it as set to EXT. So if you're having trouble getting those extended hours trades filled, just make sure that one thing to double check would be that you have your time and force set to EXT. Our extended hours trades, our extended hours currently run from 7 a.m. Central Time until 7 p.m. Central Time. And another important thing to note with the extended hours trades, those can potentially get filled during the normal market hours. So just because it's an extended hours trade doesn't mean it can only get filled during that time period. They can also get filled when the market is open and trading. So anytime from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Time, that order could also get filled. But now that we've got everything set here, let's go ahead and review and send the order here. Again, take into the review screen, go ahead and hit send. Boom, just like that. You'll notice we have the order working. Let's see if a fill comes through. Doesn't look to be the case. So we haven't gotten a fill yet on that order. How can we adjust it? Well, now that we've got the order submitted, let's actually go ahead and adjust this one from the chart. You do have the ability to adjust working orders from the chart here on the iPad. So let's navigate over to the bottom of the page here. Click on that chart tab for me. And on the chart tab here, you'll notice you see the working order off to the left side of the page here. So that's going to be indicated by this yellow box with this horizontal yellow dotted line here. That indicates your working order. So if you're looking to adjust this working order directly from the chart, what you can do, it's going to be a two-step process. First, you have to tap on it. You'll notice once I've tapped on it, you get this little red X and these up and down arrows that display next to it. So if you're not seeing those, that means you probably haven't selected the working order yet. So again, to do that, just tap on it and then boom, there you go. The X and the arrows appear. This now indicates you have the working order selected. Now to actually make an adjustment to this, you have to tap and hold on that yellow square. And then what you can do now is drag up or down to adjust the price at which you're submitting. So in this case, we're going to go a little bit higher up here and then just drop. And then now a confirmation screen will appear. So to confirm and send that order, go ahead and hit send. It cancels the first order. Now we have the second one working and filled. So just like that, we were able to adjust a working order from our chart there. We can also see the filled order on the chart here. So if you go back to the chart, now instead of being yellow, you'll notice that box is gray and it'll show you your cost basis for that share. So you could see we got filled at a price of 68.07 on that. All right. Any questions so far? We're probably going to wrap things up here in about 10, 15 minutes. I do have a couple more things I want to show you all. Tom, here I see, how do you log off the platform on the iPad? Yes. So this is another Very important thing that a lot of people don't do. They will leave their session running day over day, which could potentially lead to stale data on the platform. So if you're somebody who's trading on your iPad or any of our platforms in general, you will definitely want to make sure that you are signing out at least at the beginning of the day before you start trading. That may be a good practice. Just if you ended up leaving the session open, make sure you start each day fresh with the sign out and sign back in. So how do we do it here on the iPad? Well, we're going to have to select this accounts button in the bottom right corner. This will pull up our accounts menu. And then from here, we can actually go ahead and hit sign out. And that would be the way to sign out. I believe somebody earlier did ask about the buying power percentage, and I said I was going to touch on that later. So one place you could see your requirements in terms of buying power would actually be from the positions tab here. So we'll have to navigate again, bottom left corner where it says positions. Go ahead and tap on that. At the top of the page here, you get this button that says cap rec. And now once you tap on the cap rec button, this will show a list of all the symbols that you currently have open positions in. So to get a little bit better idea of what you actually own in that symbol, you go ahead or in that underlying, you go ahead and tap on the line. You'll see here for MES, we have one contract. For SPY, we have that spread. And then Walmart, we have one share. Then off to the right of that, this is going to the right of those. This first column here is going to be the current requirement for all of those positions. Those are listed there. And then you also have the buying power usage percentage listed there as well, which I believe someone was asking about earlier. So that would be the way to see it here. From the positions tab, you go to that cap rec button and you get the BP usage percent column listed there for you. But all right, everybody, before we go ahead and wrap things up, I do want to show you all one more feature about or I'm sorry, two more things. First, we're going to touch on the order chains feature, which a lot of you, if you're rolling options, this is probably going to be your best friend. I think I mentioned it earlier. If you're tracking those rolls right now yourself on the on your own spreadsheet, for example, the order chains is going to eliminate the need for those altogether. So what you'll need to do here to pull up those order chains, go ahead and tap on these arrows in the upper right corner from the positions tab here. Oops, whoa. App just logged me out. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, perfect. Now we got it back up, thankfully. So what we can do now, maybe we're interested in seeing our order chains for SPY. So off to the left side of the page, we do have right now we have our positions watch list pulled up. So this will show current positions for the accounts that you have currently have selected. So this will show the symbols for symbols that you currently own positions in. You'll notice for the account we have selected, right now we have positions in MES, Walmart, and SPY. So that's why you have those blue banners there. So for SPY, for example, we'll go ahead and tap on SPY there. Oops. Hang on a second. There we go. Sorry about that. So from SPY, go ahead and tap on that arrow there. It's facing to the right. You'll notice now this will pop out a little bit more information here. So you kind of get an abbreviated version of that activity tab that we showed off in the main panel earlier. You get an abbreviated version of that here. So you could see all of your activity on SPY. You could also see your currently open position on SPY here at the top. But what I want to show you all is actually going to be under this tab here that says chains. So this is going to be our order chains for SPY. Now, with this, right now we have the last 30 days selected. Let's go ahead and actually click that drop down box and let's go with the last 365 days. We'll see if we can find a good one here. So right now you'll actually be able to see our open position. That's going to be this first one here, denoted by this yellow outline circle here that indicates a position that is still open. So this is going to be what we currently have open. Underneath that, this condor blue filled in circle indicates that position's been closed. But let's see if we could find a good one here with some rolls. Here we go. Perfect. So here's a condor with a roll. So you'll see here, actually, let's go ahead and include that. There we go. Okay, so you'll see here, we started with the condor first at the bottom. On May 13th of this year, we opened this 511, 512, 530, 531 strike condor. Then we actually ended up rolling the call side of this, bought to close, sell to close, the 530, 531, and we rolled it out to May 20th, collecting a 2-cent credit. So for the initial trade, we actually got a 23-cent credit, and then we collected a 2-cent credit for the roll. And then as we scroll a little bit further up here, you'll see we actually ended up closing out of the whole position at a 64-cent debit. So in this case, you have to take your total your credits received. So in this case, we got 23 cents and 2 cents. It's 25 cents worth of total credit received. Close it out for 64 cents. So that's going to be a $39 loss, which can be seen right here for this position. That $39 loss is displayed right there. So again, it kind of eliminates the need for you having to manually track this on your spreadsheet yourself. Everything's listed there for you in the order chains, and it manually totals up all credits or debits received from rolling, and gives you a total P&L with those factored in. Now, another neat thing that you could do here from the order chains, if you're someone that's looking to maybe you're reviewing some trades and you're like, man, why'd I end up rolling that? You want to see what the underlying price was looking like when you decided to roll that position. What you can do is we're going to do actually a long press. So anywhere in this area, place your finger down, do a long press, and you'll get this box that comes up. It says view market state snapshots. So let's go ahead and tap on that. And you'll notice now this is our market state snapshots. So right now we have underlying last price selected. So this is going to show the last price of the underlying, in this case, SPY, at the time of which we took each of our actions here. So on the 13th, when we open this, you could see if we tap on this here, if you tap on that yellow diamond, you'll be able to see the price at which SPY was actually trading. So it was at about 521.27 when we put this trade on. Now, what was it at when we ended up rolling the call side here? So tap on that diamond, you'll see the price was at about 523.37. And ultimately, when we closed it out for a loss there, tap on that diamond, about 531.17. So nice little way for you to track what the underlying was looking like at the time you took each of those actions. Not only can you see last price here, you also can see other options. So like what was the IV rank like when you perform those actions, what the IV index, delta, theta, all of those you can track here with the market state snapshot. So pretty neat feature there.